there is not enough XRP in the markets anymore. In this video, I'm going to talk about an interesting trend that's happening on some big exchanges and try to explain why it might be happening. A lot of people have talked about the idea that in the future, regular people might not be able to buy XRP because there won't be anywhere to get it. That idea and some other things are what I want to talk about in this film. Make sure you stay for the whole thing. Your help is very much appreciated. As always, thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and sign up for the channel. These two things help me a lot. Also, if you know a good place to buy XRP, please let me know. You can find my best rate upload in the video's description. Still, those of you who are into it are really into it. And I hope you enjoy the blog. We need to talk about a lot of things today. Guys, just wait it out. Lots of different and very important things are going to be talked about. Even though it's a pretty slow market day, there is a lot of important information to be seen. Yes, this is the first thing I want to talk about. I believe Joe Calasari's post to be very interesting. People who think the economy is bad and that we're going to go into a depression or recession are calling for a big crash. This is very interesting. But look at these numbers. The CPI is 2.4% right now. The real rate of inflation is 2%. The GDP is growing by about 3.4%. Just 4.2% of people are out of work. The ratio of debt to GDP is going down, and the US's share of world GDP is going up. All of these are very, very good signs for the US economy. And even though we've been through a lot of trouble lately, a lot of market volatility, a lot of different year catalysts, such as events in the Middle East and things like tariffs making prices worse, there has been a flood of bad things happening. But if you look at the numbers, 2.4% inflation, 3.4% growth, falling debt to GDP, and the US taking a bigger share of the world's growth, someone would think we have one of the best economies in a long time. These are really great numbers. I wanted to bring this to your attention because a lot of the positive things you'll see in the news because of current events in politics are going to be very bad. It's important for people to take a step back, look at the numbers and say, wow, those are some really good numbers. Like the US economy is putting out some great numbers right now. In the near future, this is the kind of news that will keep the market going up. There are many people who are stuck in the fear trigger, the story, and all the other things that are going on right now. And they're missing out on a lot of great numbers coming out of the US about growth and the economy. These are the kinds of things we need to see for the coin market to really reach new all-time highs. This is very bullish news, and the fact that the coin market hasn't caught on to it yet might make it even more so, right? The market for cryptocurrencies is really slowing down. People are scared. A lot of different things scare people. A lot of people seem to be reading the statistics wrong, though. Everything is very good. And this is great news for the market catching up to where it should be trading. I think everyone agrees on where they think the price of XRP should be. So much good business news coming out. I wanted to tell you that because the story you're hearing is very different from what you're seeing everywhere else. The only thing that isn't doing so well right now is the Fed funds rate, which is where interest rates in the US are set. But they're stuck there because everyone is predicting a big disaster or end of the world event that hasn't happened yet. And the sooner we continue to have, or as we continue to have better and better data and numbers keep looking really, really good, finally the Fed's going to capitulate. As soon as interest rates go down, the economy will be back to full growth and assets will be rising. That's really good news. I wanted to share that with some of you because I think a lot of people believe the news and think, oh my gosh, there's so much bad stuff going on. The truth is that all of this bad stuff they're talking about turns out to be good. I'd like to quickly talk about something else, how institutions are using XRP. It was not long ago. This is a brand new study that came out on June 11th. It's about how XRP is used in the Euro banking system. Now, I think it's crazy that things like this don't get any attention. There are 6 references to XRP in this 78-page paper that talks about changes being made to the Euro banking system. In other words, where else do you want XRP to be talked about? This is the biggest and most important thing that can be said about XRP without the Federal Reserve saying so directly. I mean, this is huge. In the beginning, this is the kind of stuff we hope to see. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this right now because prices aren't changing. Just now, though, this paper was found and the price was going up. People would say, this is why the price is going up. At the end of the movie, we'll talk about the XRP price chart for a reason, so stay tuned. It doesn't matter what makes XRP move. It just does. There are times when big players try to control the market and times when people are just trying to keep it low and lose their grip. It's not clear why XRP changes in the ways it does. Any trigger can be given by anyone to anything that is happening. But this is the kind of stuff that just rocks the world. What I mean is that big banks are talking about using XRP right now, using XRP to make transfers between different CBDCs easier and more secure. If that's written down in planning papers for the central bank, that's direct proof of everything we've been saying, right? We know for sure that all of these changes are on the way. It's not just a thought that maybe these things will happen one day. At this point, we can only guess because they are talking about doing these exact things. That's why I want to tell you about it. A lot of people see this stuff and think, oh, people are just guessing. None of this is real. This stuff won't be used. You only put something in these kinds of papers if it's really important. And I believe that, unless it's already being tried. But these people know that their method is very old and doesn't work right. They always talk about it. It will be possible to improve it with technology. I say this all the time. Look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies. The old financial system is worth trillions and quadrillions of dollars. Which coin do you think will be the most important for fixing many of its flaws? Scroll down. I don't know what you're looking at if you don't see XRP in the top 1 or 2. It's clear that it's the best, though, so you can't get it past number 2. And if you look at the companies that went up by tens of thousands of %, you'll see that they were the biggest winners on the internet, which means it's very clear to me that it has XRP's name on it. And I really mean it when I say that these papers have XRP's name written all over them. But a lot of people are going to ignore this and say, oh, well, it's not causing prices to go up. Now, guys, you need to understand that XRP will move when it wants to move. If one of these papers got out every time, XRP would go through the roof, right? It wouldn't be good for the people who are planning this behind the scenes. That's something you can believe or not believe, but I don't think Ripple was talking with the Federal Reserve by accident in 2013. It's clear that some very big names are involved in this. There are clearly plans inside plans. These things keep being written down and then talked about in other papers. It doesn't seem like an accident to me.